I'm going to be working on a Circus Peanut. Uh, it's a great articulated streamer. Uh, it was originally developed for trout. Bass will eat it. I'm sure bigger sizes you can even get a couple of muskie. I know the smallmouth love it. I know largemouth love it. I know trout love it. Uh, I'm going to start with a size 2 hook. And this is going to be my back hook. And I'm going to do this one in a chartreuse and white color pattern. So just tie my thread on all the way to the back, right above basically, you're going to be right there right before you get into the bend. And you're going to have two different colors of marabou on this. You're going to start with a white for the bottom. Just pull this out, and I'm just going to get in here and I'm just going to find one feather. One, there we go, right like that. Pull it out. I'm just going to lay that in there first. There's my first feather in. Next, I'm just going to take a chartreuse. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Just going to take that chartreuse feather, cut it off here a little bit. Just going to lay it right over top of that white one. Slip that down just a little bit here. Just let it lay right in on top of that white. Tie it in. There you got your tail in there that way. Chartreuse white. Started. Then my next step, I'm going to take a little bit of this pearl chenille in chartreuse. I'm going to cut off about a 8 to 10 inch piece. I'll tie it right there. I'm just going to run my thread to about there on my hook eye behind it, about scissors width behind it. I'm just going to take my chenille, just wrap it forward on the hook. And just 2 quick wraps on top of it, 2 in front of it. Snip that out of the way. Next, I'm going to take a piece of this strung rooster hackle in white. I'll find me a nice big one here. Pull it out. few of the quills off the bottom of it. Just gonna tie that in right up there in front of that chenille. I'm gonna take my hackle pliers, grab a hold of the end of it here at the tip. You can tie that feather in either way you want. I just want to make sure I get those longest fibers of this hackle in there, and I'm just going to tie it up. A few turns. I'll go one more. And just tie that off. Over top. Rest that excess feather out of there. And what I do, I just take all these and I just kind of push them back out of the way. Do a quick whip finish in here. Doubling it up. Snip this out of the way. Now from this point right here, we're going to add in, this is 50-pound mono. I'm going to get up about, double this over so I can get the right length here. We're going to do roughly about 6-inch piece here. You take that, you're just going to slide it down through this hook eye, get it about the same length on each side. Kind of pinch that to kind of help it shape the way you want it. Leave it hanging there for a second. Next thing in, it's going to get you some beads. I'm trying to pick out what color I want to use. In this case, just kind of go along with the body color that I've got going already. I'm going to use this green. It's not going to be an exact match. And all this is to kind of help control that piece of mono to keep it kind of from folding up too much. We'll slide. Keep a hold of the bead. That is. And these are glass beads, so they're not adding much weight to it. I can hold on to them. Let me change up my bead. I have to go with something that's a little bit bigger here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch up. Start these black beads I've got here. To be honest, what I think it is, I'm going to switch that out. That is a little too bit big to get that through there. So I'll switch to, let's see where I've put it. Should have some wire laying around here somewhere I can use. Here we go. What I'm going to do instead got a little braid here. Let's use braid. Same length. This braid's a little more flexible. Run it through there like so. Grab a few green beads here instead. Clear one here and get a hold of it. Actually, we're going to get a red one in there. To start, what you'll do is you'll just take one of these beads, hold it in your finger, and you're just going to run both ends through that bead. Just push it up there. Just going to do that for all 4 beads you're going to put on this. What I usually do is I usually take that one different color bead, this case it's red, stick it in after the first 2, and then run that last, like in this situation, a green bead in there, and you'll have something that looks like this. Now you just take this, lay it down to the side, and you're just going to grab your next hook. Now what I always do is I always upsize to a different size hook. That was a size 2. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a size 2.0 hook and put in there. This is going to be our front hook. Start by getting the thread started. We're going to start it literally right behind the eye. Run it back about 1/2 inch or so. Sorry. We're going to put in a pair of dumbbell eyes. You can use whatever weight size you want, depending on how deep you want the fly to go. You can even use some bead chain if you're wanting something to run a little shallower. And you're just going to tie those in on the underside of the hook right now. What would be considered the underside here. Basically on the same side that the loop comes around to the point. With this point side down, just going to wrap it in with some figure 8s. And then what I always do is I go over the hourglass eyes, but underneath the hook shank, and it kind of tightens that down. Helps hold that in place without having to do as much. And what I do is I just come all the way back. I'm a little bit past the point. Stop right there, right at the bend. Now you're going to take that first hook you did, you're going to bring that up here, and your connector, in this case it's the braid. You're just going to tie that in, wrapping that braid down, working your way all the way back to the front. Then what you can do in this case, since we're using this thin braid, we can slide it through the hook eye, pull it back over top, and you wrap that down. What that then does, that'll lock that in place, so that ain't gonna come loose. I'll show you. As you can see, I'm pulling as hard as I can. You can even see that hook moving in the vise. And that back hook isn't going anywhere. So I'm just going to kind of clip this up out of the way, hold it back here some. And now, here comes a little tricky part. I really need to do better about having everything laid out before I start. So, I'm actually going to take a set. I'm going to take 2 of these. In this case, it's the hairline dubbing crazy legs and the clear salt and pepper. I'm going to take 2 of these. I'm going to tie them in right here. Now you can tie these either here, or you can tie them in on the other hook. A lot of times I do tie them in, depending. Well, I keep from breaking them. You have to be careful when you do that. That can happen. That off there. Let's get another set out. I'll end up using those somewhere else along the line. So. There, pull it through here. So what you want to do is when you tie these in, you want to try to get them about the same length on each side. So I got 3 up there. Just gonna wrap once, twice, and you leave it kind of loose. Don't pull it down tight. You're just going to kind of get these. Let these lay towards the back here. Pull these up and over. Tie those in there like so. This is going to let those string back over top of that other hook a little bit. So I ended up putting 3 in on each. Use 3, so it gives you 3 little legs on both sides. Now, just like we did before, we're just going to repeat the process up here on the front. So I'm going to find me one nice white chartreuse feather here I like the look of. Set that down, let that just lay back over top of that like so. Just let that lay in there. It'll create a little distinctive little look in there. Next, just going to go in. I made a couple of chartreuse here because this is getting a little short. Lay in here. Just going to lay these right in on top. So, tie this down. I'm going to get me another piece of that pearl chenille out here. This one I'm going to make a little bit longer. Lay it down here. Tie that in real quick. Lay it back here out of the way. Come right behind the eyes. I'm just going to take, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use those ones that broke off on me in this case. I'm just going to tie them in here real quick. We're just going to do one hook here. There. And just bring your thread into front of the eyes there. Now you're just going to wrap chenille just like you did before. Just take these and kind of put them in. We'll kind of have to hold these up out of your way for a minute. So start wrapping that in. You just don't want to catch those. You don't want to trap them down. So just kind of watch what you're doing as you wrap, keeping them from getting trapped in there. Working your way forward. You get to right here, you're going to wrap over. Kind of tight. Again, so it's kind of help push them back. And what I do is I go ahead and I make a couple of circles around this. And bring it right back to here. Wrap one time. Snip this right there out of the way. I made that longer than I really needed to, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty there to work with. Now, finish this off. You grab you another one of your white hackle feathers here. Find a good one here for this. There we go. That'll do. A little bit of that exposed. What you do is just wrap that in. A few quick turns. Right in front of those eyes, like so. I do is going to push all that back again. Hold all these feathers back out of the way a little bit. And make some wraps. Just kind of pin them towards the back a little bit that way. Let them just kind of lay back over top of that some. And a lot of people tie that feather in behind all that, or even wrap it up through there. I like putting it in front, where it rolls over top of it, creating more of a head and a little bit more movement. Just bring in our whip finish. Of course, get that head up there finished. Put you a little bit of seal on there for that thread wraps, you know, hard as nails, Sally's, any kind of really nail hardener will work. You can even drop in a little bit of UV resin if you wanted to. Now what I do is, because there is usually some discrepancy in those legs when I get them done, is I pinch them down below it, see where they're all about going to be about the same length, and just trim that out. back aren't as bad, so I'm not going to worry about them. I'm going to have to go up. That's the way this is. My boss is kind of keeping me from being able to get them close. Pull those feathers down all the way and just kind of look. See how that's pretty good. We're just going to give them a little bit of a trim just to let them fall down. And there you have my take on the Circus Peanut. It's a great overall articulated fly around here. I love these color combos. This chartreuse, this white together. You know, smallmouth really love that, and that's what I'm targeting around here. You know, you catch a lot on that stinger, that little hook on the back, but you also got the bigger hook on the front. They take the whole thing. Let's get you a double chance there. But that's how these are going to look. Love this setup. If anybody's interested in learning how to tie this in person, if you live in the Ashland, Kentucky area, Huntington, West Virginia, Ironton, Ohio, Portsmouth, or if you're even willing to take a little bit of a drive, I'm going to be doing a class on these on April 12th at, I know I'm going to butcher the name because I always do, my wife laughs at me, Iridonis Brewing in Russell, Kentucky. I'm going to put the flyer up on there. You can find a link. You can be able to find a link to me for my Facebook or Instagram, and you can contact me directly in the show notes. If you just have questions about this, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Remember, guys, I will be at the Maggie Valley Fly Fishing Festival May 23rd, 24th in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. It's their third annual. And then second annual, of course, you will be able to find me at the second annual Appalachian Fly Fishing Festival in Thomas, West Virginia. Always love going up there and supporting those guys. Put you in some great trout waters. So make sure you come out and find me. That is on May 30th through June 1st. So we'll be set up there for that. I'll have flyers at the end of the video showing both of those. So, of course, get in touch with me if you have any questions. Get in touch with me if you want to take a guide trip in Eastern Kentucky. We're doing wet waiting for smallmouth starting now. Or not wet waiting. We're waiting for smallmouth now. Walking weights for smallmouth right now. We can throw on a lighter thing and just catch a few fun bluegill if we get bored. As always, I'm always open for any comments, suggestions. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Find me on all of your other social medias, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, any of them. It's Home Waters, Kentucky. Just look that up and you'll find me there. Thanks again, guys.